Turn now, if I could, to the controversy around the contracts that were handed out at the beginning of this crisis for PPE. Now, you've repeatedly answered the question about why you didn't publish the details earlier. You say, your colleagues in the health department had better things to do. In effect, they had to make sure that we were all safe. They got the PPE to the people who need it. So I'm not asking you that question again. People are concerned about the contracts themselves, though. So what I wanted to ask you, what first attracted your friend, who's a pub landlord, to the opportunity to make millions of pounds making protective equipment for the NHS, something he'd never made before?
Well, I don't know. Obviously, there was a massive shortage of a huge amount of items. The demand for PPE went up tenfold. And my team bought PPE from all over the place. And all those contracts have been looked into. There's been an inquiry by the National Audit Office, and they've published the results of that inquiry.
Well, there's an inquiry now, a new inquiry that hasn't taken place yet into the decision of Alex Bourne, who said he'd contact you by WhatsApp to develop these vials he's now producing with no prior experience in the medical devices industry. I can't expect you to prejudge an inquiry, but isn't it time to say we did our best, we were in a rush, and there's no doubt some things went wrong and we need to look into them?
No, not in this case. I didn't have anything to do with that contract.
No, I meant overall. I understand you're defending yourself, but overall... Were things got right when people in Spain are boasting of making tens of millions of pounds by being involved in the contracts for businesses they knew nothing about?
Well, the thing is, though, Nick, that this has all been looked into in great detail. It's only because of the transparency that I support that we can ask questions about these contracts. The implication of your question about the specific one that you raised is that people should be barred from taking contracts if they know anybody involved. That would be ridiculous. And what's more, it's easy to ask these questions, but what is hard is to deliver PPE in the teeth of a pandemic. And that's what my team did. Mm-hmm. And yes, there were individual challenges in access to PPE, but we never had a national shortage because of my team.
There was a shortage. There were lots of doctors and nurses complaining they didn't get it. You may have addressed the shortage, but there certainly was. You've made that point very clearly. Briefly, if you would. I want to give you a last positive one.
I will answer the question and the accusation. You can't put an accusation then just move on, because it's very, very easy to throw these things around, but it's actually important to find out what really happened, and that's what I'm telling you. So in this individual, in the case that you just raised, as I said, yes, there were individual shortages of logistics of getting PPE to the front line. And when demand goes up 10 times, that's what happens. But as the NAO investigated and found, there was never a national shortage. But that wasn't an accident. It wasn't something that happened passively. It happened because of my team.
Understood. So and you made the point, forgive me, Secretary, to say we're being told by your team you have other places to go. And I want to give you the chance to address one other thing that I know will be on many people's minds. When do they